Heidi-ho neighbors, Radio Goji here, and welcome to Squeeze the World Toys. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generations Titans Return Legends Class Rewind. Rewind is another of Blaster's cassette friends. This guy actually did show up in the show as alongside Eject. He was one of Blaster's answers to Rumble and Frenzy, who were the basically the humanoid robots that Soundwave had. Although, as with Stripe's Eject, I keep wanting to call him Eject, but he's Rewind. Rewind does have an alt mode alongside his robot mode and his spy tablet mode here. Although, one thing I do like is that for his cell phone background thing, they did keep the cassette look as the background. I mean, you still have, like, your battery life and whatnot sticker on there. In fact, the sticker screen is quite a bit smaller than on Stripes, and doesn't look the part as much, but whatever. You also still have a headphone jack on the bottom, and I actually did get the headphone cord that I was going to show off before, but you can actually plug it in. Again, doesn't do anything, but it's kind of a cool addition there. So let's just go ahead and transform him into his other alt mode, which is in this case a tank. So we're actually going to start off by removing this gun. This gun actually kind of fits into the side here. Something I do want to point out is that make sure that you do that first off and foremost, because I have forgotten on a couple of occasions to take the gun out before I started trying to bend this, and then I was wondering why it wasn't going into shape, and that's because the gun was in there. I am surprised that this gun has not snapped yet. It's still not, I mean, it's like bent a little bit because of that, but I'm surprised it's not broken. I guess it's just made of sterner stuff than I would expect Hasbro to make things out of these days. Maybe they actually had that in mind when they made that in there. Either way, then we go to these, take these silver parts on the sides, and these are going to disconnect and flip up like this, and it is a little bit of force. There's a little bit of force needed to get it into place because of how these parts are molded. I may just be doing it wrong, but that's just how I've been doing it. And as a result, they are a little loose on the around the hinges, but they haven't broken yet. So that's a good sign at the very least. Then we're just going to separate these parts here, and from here, we're actually going to twist these up like so. And these pegs are actually going to go into these grooves on the sides right above the treads. And they'll just kind of push into place so that turret is actually in two halves. There we go. And then you take your gun, and this will actually clip into here, like so. Kind of bringing the two halves together a little bit more, and there you have the nice little tank mode. I actually like this quite a bit. There is a little bit of the phone showing, which is fine. You got little treads on the sides here. The treads don't move or anything like that, but you do got little wheels, so you can move them around. Also, while the turret itself doesn't move, the gun does point up and down. You also have spot for two Titan Masters to stand. I actually have two Autobot Titan Masters on the side here. So let's put Grimlock on one side and just kind of grabbed Siren to put on the other side. So they're just kind of standing on top of the tank, which is kind of weird. Again, there's no real cockpit for them to sit in or anything like that, which is kind of a bummer. But for what we got here, at least they can accommodate something. It just looks kind of weird that there's like two guys just kind of standing there, but whatever. I didn't design the thing, so just take these guys off and put them off to the side. Going into the robot mode, let's remove the gun from the clip there. Going to unhook the turret halves from the sides. We're going to turn the figure like this. Actually, also bring up the turret halves like this, just to kind of get them out of the way while you twist them into place like so. These are actually going to be the arms. And then they'll come down and twist into place. Bring them back up because we're going to get the legs out. Just take the treads. They're going to swing out and down. And then twist so that the treads are facing you. And the feet will actually fold out as well. Bring the arms back down. Open up the chest. Flip out the head. Close the chest back up. And then for your gun, he can either hold it in his hand, like so. That looks kind of nice. But what I usually do is I actually put it on the... sometimes a lot of these figures will have holes in the sides of their arm. And I think it looks a little cooler having the gun on the side of his arm like that. And he can actually hold like other weapons in his hands then, like Titan Master weapons or something like that. But yeah, there's Rewind. Rewind is really, really cool. I like Rewind quite a lot. I actually, now that I think about it, I would have been okay if I didn't get Stripes. The thing is, I got Stripes and Rewind like around the same time. I got Stripes a tiny bit before Rewind, actually. And had I known Stripes would have worked out the way that he did, I may not have, gotten him, but, hindsight is 20/20. Either way, I am really happy with Rewind. He's got a good amount of articulation. He's actually got ball joints on his shoulders. He's got the swivel on his arms. He's got the elbow joints. Doesn't have twisting waist or anything like that, but he does have ball joints on the hip. He has the ball joint in the knee, and his head can turn. So yeah, definitely the better of the two between Stripes and Rewind for Blaster specifically. If you like this mold as well, but you're more of a Soundwave fan, they actually did use this to remold into Rumble. So basically, if you you can have Stripes and Rewind with Blaster, or if you're more of a Soundwave guy, you can have Ravage and Rumble. Although there's also Laserbeak there's also Laserbeak for Soundwave, and Blaster really doesn't have a. Blaster never really had a bird for the most part. I'll get to that. I'll get to that when I get to that. But in any case, there really isn't a bird specifically made for Blaster in this set. But you do at least have Rewind, who is pretty awesome here. So I highly recommend picking up Rewind. The only thing is, I found that when it comes to Legends class figures, he is a little bit more on the expensive side. I paid, when I first got him about a month ago, I think I ended up paying like $30 for him. Yeah. But I really wanted Eject, and I'm glad that I got him. He's just, at least at the time, was a little bit more expensive for a Legends class figure. The prices do fluctuate on Amazon quite a bit, but that's just how that works out. Either way, totally recommend picking him up. If you feel that you can pick him up for a decent price, go ahead and get him. So until next time, I've been Radio Goji, and I'll be here. Join me, won't you?